coming with the topic eutrophication back again. So why it is kind of a harmful, why it is not appreciable, is because it is something which totally depletes, or it totally covers the water body. Okay, it totally covers the water body. Now we will go with one kind. I'll tell you one story. Okay, so once upon a time there was one lake which was present near a house. Okay, there was a lake which was present near a house. So what happened was, uh, what happened was, daily the from the house, the household waste, some harmful waste was thrown or dumped into the water. Okay, was thrown or dumped into the water. So having one idea that water is an universal solvent. Okay, having an idea that water is an universal solvent, and it takes up everything. Okay, it takes up everything in the water. So having the idea, the house people used to always dump either anything into it. So in that there were some manures, some household waste, then the household sewage waste was allowed to go into the water. Okay, so gradually what happened was, there was an increase in the nutrient content in the water. How the nutrient content increased? It increased because of large amount of such waste. Okay, large amount of such waste, household waste, kitchen waste was allowed to settle down into the water. Okay, was allowed to settle down into the water. So slowly, gradually, what happened was, this nutrients, okay, this nutrients was taken up by this algae. Okay, this nutrients was taken up by this algae, giving out a habitat or a or a proper condition for its growth. So what happened? Gradually, the algae grew over this water surface, taking the nutrients from the water. Okay. Later what happened is phytoplankton growth on the sedge grass. So what happens is, free floating algae were grown near the near the sand area. Okay, near the sand area where the sedge grass were grown. Here near it, the phytoplankton started growing. Phytoplanktons are nothing but free floating algae. Okay, phyto means green. Okay, phyto means green or leaf-like structure. Planktons means free floating. Okay, planktons means free floating. Free floating in a sense, they keep floating on a water. Okay, there is no, they don't need any proper host to grow. They can float on the water. They do not want any host. A host in a sense, they do not want any rock, okay, any stone to grow. They just float on the water. You must have also come across such phytoplanktons. Those green color thread-like structures which will be growing on the water, making problems for the animals, organisms for in the water, then also for the fishermen and all who go there for fishing, and also for the growth of the fishes. Okay, also for the growth of the fishes. And anytime if you any people go inside, means if any of you go in for swimming or anything also, it's very difficult because if there is any doubt, please do ask in the chat box. It becomes very difficult because it gets tangled into your feet and all. Okay, so such phytoplanktons are grown. Phytoplanktons are nothing but the free floating algae. Okay, phytoplanktons are nothing but the free floating algae. So sediments from the land block sunlight. Can you see there? Okay, can you see there? So sedge grass are nothing but, I guess, when you were like in primary sections and all, you must have grown. You whenever it was told for you to grow any grass like structure, you must have grown like this. No, one triangular structure like grasses. Yes or no? Not grown. Proper grass you had grown always. Never grown such triangular structure grasses. So sedge grasses are nothing but like this of triangular structures grasses which are grown on this area near the water and the land. Okay, near the water and the land. So what happens is, as the algae grows over the surface of water, okay, as the algae grows over the surface of the water, it blocks the sunlight to enter into this water. Okay, so what happened? The household people kept on dumping the waste from their houses, leading to the algal growth on the water. Okay, leading to the algal growth on the water. So what happened? One mat-like structure was grown of the algae. Okay, one mat-like structure of algae was grown. Can you see here in this picture? So same thing happened over here. What happened was the sunlight which used to come till the bottom. You must be knowing, if you are very aware about National Geographic Channel and all. People, there are fresh waters, they show that the fresh waters, seas, oceans, where the light penetrates to some amount till the bottom of such seas, oceans as well. So because of there is no algal growth, or there is no barrier for the sun rays to enter. Okay, so but the algal bloom which is grown on the water, what happens is blocks the sunlight. Okay, and the sunlight is taken by these algae only to grow. Okay, the sunlight is taken by these algae only to grow. The nitrogen and the phosphorus which from the soil, from the nitrogen cycle, phosphorus cycle, what happens is enters into such water and increases the growth of the phytoplanktons. Okay, phytoplanktons are nothing but the free floating algae which will be floating here and there. Okay, which will be floating here and there. So what happens is, later the algae which were grown here, okay, the algae which were grown here, they die and come and sediment over here. Okay, on the bottom of this pond. Now this is a pond for us. So what happens is the algae die and it comes and sediments over here. Means it comes and settles over here. But for the growth of such algae, the oxygen is taken from the water. Okay, the dissolved oxygen is taken by the algae, making the entire pond anoxic. Anoxic is nothing but out of oxygen. Okay, what happens is there is no oxygen content in the water, and rapidly the algae will grow. Okay, rapidly the algae will grow. Algae are nothing but which has chlorophyll in them, and they photosynthesize and they grow. Means they prepare their own food. Okay, they photosynthesize and they grow. However, nutrients they are getting from the water. Okay, however, nutrients they are getting from the water, sunlight they are getting, and dissolved oxygen as well. So it becomes one proper conditions for them to grow. Okay, proper conditions from them to grow. Later, what happens when this algae sediments over here, gradually, what will happen is a kind of such picture you can see. Okay, kind of such picture you can see. Once the oxygen is blocked, okay, once the oxygen is blocked, the organism do not sorry once the sunlight is blocked, the organism do not get the sunlight. Okay, once the sunlight is blocked, the organism do not get the sunlight or a light at all. Okay, those organism those organism neither they can float on the surface because of the growth of the algal bloom, neither they can survive beneath or inside the pond, leading to the death of such organisms. Later what happens? As they die, many such bacteria, okay, many such bacteria and other organisms start growing inside the pond. Okay, many such bacteria and other organisms start growing inside the pond, giving out not a proper or a suitable conditions for any other organisms to survive. Okay, neither giving suitable conditions for the other organism to survive. Gradually what happens is, gradually other plants starts growing in the water. Okay, the weeds start growing in the water. Later, at one point of time, you can only see a part of land there in place of a river or a pond. Okay, a part of a land there in place of river or the pond. And there are many such rivers which have been ponds which have been a part of eutrophication until now. There are many such, not only in our country but all around the world. You can just, if you are, as of my part of my assignment, when you will go and study more about it, eutrophication, when you will go through it, you'll get to know how many such ponds had just became a piece of land now, a piece of land now from the decades together. Okay, a piece of land now to decades together. The only thing we can save such ponds, such rivers from eutrophication is either cleaning it at time, removing the algal bloom, neither allowing the growth of the algal bloom. The even though if we keep taking out such algal blooms from there, it's very difficult to stop such growth if the pond or the river is highly polluted. Okay, if it is highly polluted from such nutrients, okay, from such manures, from nitrogen, from phosphorus, if it is being polluted, then it is very difficult. So it is very necessary to not to dump anything into such ponds, such rivers. If it is nearby your house or nearby your locality, you please make sure that you are not dumping anything into it. Okay, you are not dumping anything into it which can lead to eutrophication. There must be many such rivers and ponds nearby your locality as well, which have been a part of eutrophication. Okay, where at one point of time, because of such algal growth, it must have been covered with the sand or the land now. Okay, it's because of uh, very easy to understand. It's because when you dump any waste inside the water, the algal bloom is grown on the surface of the water, blocking the sunlight to enter inside the water, making it very difficult for the organisms to survive. The oxygen is taken from the water. Okay, the dissolved oxygen, the oxygen is taken up from the water, making the entire water anoxic. Okay, that is absence of water condition. Then what will happen is phytoplanktons are grown. Phytoplanktons are nothing but free floating algae, taking out nitrogen and phosphorus from the soil and the air as well. Okay, these nutrients increase the quantity of phytoplanktons. Okay, quantity of phytoplanktons. When the algal bloom, they die, they come in sediment over here. Okay, they come in sediment over here and they decay. The decaying process will allow with the growth of microorganism. Okay, the decaying process will allow the growth of various harmful and other microorganism, bacteria, fungi, will later making issues or the problems for the other organism, fishes, small fishes, tadpoles, or anything which are growing. It will make issues for those organisms, leading to their death. Okay, leading to their death. Once they die, once they die, slowly the growth of such weeds, different plants. Okay, growth of weeds. Weeds are nothing but the what I should say, those plants which are not used for anything, or they are just grown. Okay, I'll be answering. Okay. I'll be telling about natural eutrophication. Don't worry. So what happens is those weeds are nothing but the plants which are grown with the other plants. Okay, other good plants which are of no use but take up the only nutrition. Okay, take up the only nutrition from it. Okay, or take up the only nutrition from it. Okay, natural eutrophication will be explained along with the cultural eutrophication. You don't worry, Vani, because I wanted to first make the eutrophication thing very clear. Okay, so yes, Aaron, it grows again even after removing it. Yes, first thing is, okay, I'll clear everyone's doubt. Please do ask me if any such doubts are there. Okay, do not keep it with yourself.